Next month, the first of 304 new trees will be planted around the city of Bloomington. Pat Bean looks at where the money is coming from and how sites for the trees were selected.
In 2018, the city set aside $800,000 of its bicentennial bonds project to plant trees throughout the city. So when the city announced a plan last month to plant 304 new trees, many asked if the city was really spending $800,000 on 300 trees, or a little more than $2,600 per tree. The short answer is no.
This is an initial phase to kind of see how this goes and see how we can adjust this into the future and use it to plant more trees in other parts of the city.
Hatch is Bloomington's urban forester and responsible for overseeing the project. The cost of this initial phase is roughly $182,000. That works out to a little under $600 per tree and includes the purchase, planting, and 2 follow-up visits by Davie Resource Group. That price tag also includes a 2019 citywide tree inventory by Davie that identified planting sites.
We're looking at it from kind of an environmental justice lens. So for this project, we looked at median income and also percentage of non-white individuals within different geographies in the city of Bloomington.
What the city is aiming for is called an equitable tree canopy. Sarah Mincy is the managing director of the Environmental Resilience Institute at IU. She says tree inequity in cities is connected to systemic racism in housing dating back to the 1930s when racial covenants and redlining limited where minorities could live.
We know that inequities in tree canopy cover mean that particular kinds of groups of people may not have access to all of those ecosystem services that other groups of people have. So we're concerned about trying to make sure everyone has access to those benefits.
The benefits of tree canopy are wide-ranging. Trees improve air quality, collect carbon dioxide, aid in stormwater management, and add to the value of a property.
Trees provide shade and wind blocks to homes, and so that means we're spending usually less money on our air conditioning and heating, which ends up obviously helping individuals in terms of the money that they have to spend.
The city decided where to plant new trees, taking information from the tree survey by Davie and combining it with socio-economic demographics. The survey showed that the city's tree canopy in 2018 was 38%, with an estimated area of another 22% of the city available for tree planting. The city says the annual economic contribution from its urban forest is just under $1 million. Using that data, the city identified 4 project areas, 2 covering neighborhoods on the east side, 1 covering 9 neighborhoods in the north and near west side, and 1 covering 10 neighborhoods on the city's south side. Not all are in low-income areas.
I think it's relevant for people to know that one of the constraints on an urban forester is actually having viable planting locations. It ends up often knocking out some communities that we might rather be planting in.
Hatch says trees will begin being planted in April and May for a majority of the project area, with another planting session scheduled for October and November. That will be done by the Davie Resource Group, which is contracted for 2 post-planting visits that will run through the spring of 2024. After that,
they're considered city trees, so any sort of associated maintenance such as removals that might need to happen if those trees become sick, die, that'd be city responsibility.
So what will Hatch do with the remaining $600,000 allocated in the bicentennial bond?
Plant more trees, hopefully, in other parts of the city.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm Pat Bean.